So thank you for joining us, Helen. And in our services recently, we've been talking a little bit about people who've kind of been going through storms. Can you share a bit about your experience of that recently?
I think certainly the services have hit home about the storms. My mum died in April. It was very near the beginning of the pandemic, and nobody was sure what was going on. It was a very difficult time. We could only have 10 people for a funeral. Just didn't feel normal. It was difficult not being able to spend time with family to get the usual support that you have when you're bereaved. And it was just a really tough time, and it just seemed to go on and on and on forever. And then there were a lot of challenges at work, and I just felt like it was just one storm after another. And I just ran out of energy. I couldn't, float, swim, nothing anymore. And the more I felt like that, it was a bit like, when you see the thing that they throw out for people who are drowning, the little round, and it goes out and it doesn't quite reach the person. So it has to be thrown again and again. And I think God was trying to do that, but I wasn't really reaching out for it. It was a really hard time. And then I didn't want to actively participate in groups, or you couldn't go to church. I did go once. I just found it too emotional to be there. It was very kind. Somebody wanted to pray with me, and I just wanted to run away and hide. I just couldn't. My emotions were all over the place. But things have gradually improved. I felt stronger after taking some time away from work, and I have found the more time I have spent reading and in prayer and reaching out to people, I have got stronger and stronger. And after Christmas, I just felt like I was back to me again, which I hadn't felt for months and months and months. So yeah, it's amazing what God can do for you if you let him.
How in that have you kind of sensed God speaking to you through his word and things that you've been reading and hearing?
I wasn't sure whether to stay in the role that I have at work or not. So I prayed on that a great deal. I felt an overwhelming sense of peace that God was making the decision for me to stay. So that helped a lot. And then starting the Bible study course as well recently, just having a focus, but just finding time to be still and listen to what God wants as I've never really done that before. I've had a faith for a long time, and I pray and I read the Bible, not always consistently, nobody's perfect, but I've never really sat and listened. Just being still in the world for a little while, it's made a big difference. And that's really helped with my feelings of grief as well. Come to terms with those. Of being like that, it's much better to hang on to, what's thrown out to you and let God pull you in.
What encouragement can you give to anyone else who might be feeling like in their life that they're really kind of feeling like they're being battered in a storm?
Lots of people say to you, "Oh, get in touch with me or ring me," or and sometimes you don't feel able to do that. I've learned, you need to do that, because if you don't reach out, we don't reach out to real people around us as well, then you end up feeling very isolated and feeling even worse than you would, reaching out in prayer as well. I remember getting really cross with God at some point, saying, "How much more do you think I can take this year? I've had enough. I'm on my knees. I just feel so overwhelmed." And I had to stop. I physically couldn't do anything, mentally couldn't do anything. I just said, you don't want to get to that point, so reach out. Just something from what I've been reading is giving our worries to God and letting him work things through, even little worries. We're quite good at saying, "I'm worried about this," to God in prayer, but then we snatch it back and try and work on it on our own. So that's something I'm working on at the minute, is trying not to grab it back and trying to leave it where it belongs, but that's hard. I'm working on it.
Yeah, me too.